My father, being with the Marine Corps band, I was introduced to band music initially. I mean, like marching band music. And John Philip Sousa, and that was my first introduction. Classical music was what we listened to in the car a lot. And then gospel, you know? I mean, Shirley Caesar, Andre Crouch, like these guys of 70s gospel background. We weren't allowed to listen to rock and roll. I mean, I was kind of taught as a young person that that was like noise and bad, and like, you know, like how could anyone ever enjoy that? And that's kind of like what ingrained in me as a small kid. And my first experience with it, you know, was E Street, you know, and seeing that as an 8-year-old. And it blew my mind, but it was kind of like the experience in general. I just remember being really loud, and I hadn't really been exposed to distorted guitars before, so that part of it was overwhelming, but the communal experience of it is really like what blew my mind, you know? That's what stuck with me. My brother was 7 years old, he is 7 years older than me, and I was in his car for 45 minutes or so, and he was just like blasting Nevermind over and over again, you know? And I was going crazy, and I decided that I needed to find some kind of like value in this, something I was gonna really enjoy. And I found that thing, and by the time I got out of the car, like I was in love with that record, you know? And that just opened up my world completely. Even my understanding of how to enjoy music, I would kind of go out of my way to find things I didn't love initially, and try to find that one element of like, cause people like it, somebody likes it. What is it that they're really finding, you know? And then like letting that flower kind of blossom. And the 90s for sure became a really big influence on me. It was my first love for rock music. What I got out of Nirvana was kind of the story that's stuck with me through the years of like blatant honesty, you know? And not even lyrically, like just from his expression itself, you know? Hearing Kurt Cobain sing was like the realest thing that you could hear, you know? I mean, and that's kind of been like the thing that stuck with me through the years. I mean, I didn't become a singer until I heard Glenn Hansard in the movie Once, and that like blew my mind, you know? But it was the same kind of thing. Glenn Hansard's got an amazing voice, but it's that same expression of like, I'm just gonna be vulnerable and honest, and this is real, and you know, it's coming out. That's what I think stuck with me about Kurt Cobain. And what, again, I think Glenn Hansard point allowed me to kind of open up my own kind of vulnerability and say like, all right, I'm probably not the greatest singer in the world, but it's not about that anymore. I'd written a bunch of songs, and it's a really random occasion where I was playing for a wedding, and I was playing guitar and some songs that I wrote, and I look out and I see this guy like in these cool aviator shades, and he turns around and I see the back of his neck. He's got an F and an F tattooed on the back of his neck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Dave Grohl. Oh my, you know, like one of my heroes, you know, like as a multi-instrumentalist and songwriter. Like, you know, I got the shakes. Like I've been playing guitar for a very short period of time at the time. But yeah, he heard me play a few of my songs and like came and approached me afterwards and said, "You're a great songwriter. Like I can't believe you wrote those songs. I thought they must have been like some huge songs right now." And that like changed my world, you know? After that I was like, maybe I can be a songwriter. I had a hard time coming out of my bedroom after Clarence passed away, so it was really a really difficult time. And I certainly wasn't looking at playing my saxophone then. You know, I was really mourning. And you know, through the kindness of their hearts and their care for me, Glenn Hansard and Eddie Vedder gave me a call and asked me to come out of my room and bring my sax with me. You know, there was a moment on stage with them when I played with them in Philadelphia. They asked me to come out to Philadelphia and play. Where you know, I always understood the saxophone as a communication, you know, device, an extension of myself. But that night it became something completely different. You know, it became something enormously bigger than that, because I was able to have this euphoric sense of being with my uncle again. You know, and that sense of healing became something I was desperate for. You know, so from that point on, I was like, oh, like I want to be able to play this. I want to be able to express this. There were words that he gave me that very, very early on that have stuck with me, and that remain as every part of my day, as I experience this life and as I experience this career. And he pulled me into his dressing room. I believe it was our second show, and he said, "Listen, there's something that it's really important for you to remember. You haven't earned it. You haven't earned it. You won't earn it. He said, you're still earning it. And he conveyed this thing of, he said, after 40 years, I'm still earning it. So every night that he goes on that stage, he's aware that everyone there has an expectation, just like it was on day one, and just like it will be on the last day. And you have to earn it and fulfill that expectation, And that was a huge, what a beautiful nugget, to hold on to, and that you can really apply to everything, Like the moment that you feel like you've earned it, you've lost it. So keep pushing forward and keep working hard and applying yourself in every way that you can, because as of right now, you haven't earned it.